Hey, hey. Welcome. Wow. So, my talk called 7 Things How to Make Good Teams Great. So first about me. I'm Sven. I'm the Atlassian ambassador. So I'm not like Steve Chin driving around on motorcycles. We are from Atlassian. He's from Oracle, so that might be a different. So, if I will show you 7 things how to become great with your team. So if you actually have one thing more or something feedback, please tweet me at Sven Pet. My weblog is on svenpet.com. And yeah, enjoy the talk. So when I submitted this talk to Devox, I had the 7 things in mind I wanted to talk about. And actually, I was looking for a title, and I was calling this talk "How to Make Software Teams Great." Who's working in a software team here? Just QA? Oh yeah, awesome, everybody. That's good. So I thought I was working in software teams. So I'm working in software teams since 12 years. First as a Java enterprise programmer, then as a team lead, and still a little bit programming, now as an ambassador. So I thought I pretty much know software teams, so I thought this is a great title. But then I had a little bit, I was thinking a little bit. And I was thinking, oh, didn't we have this, the last 10 years, this small revolution? We value the customer more, we have short feedback cycles, we make sprints, time-boxed iterations, all this stuff. So I thought, okay, good, you need that to become great. So I came up with that title, How to Make Agile Teams Great. Who's working in an Agile team here? Wow, whoo, that's almost everybody. Amazing. So I thought this is a great title. But actually then I had a look at some Agile teams I know. And even though they call themselves Agile and they're doing this sprint stuff and sprint reviews and all this stuff at the end of iteration and doing great, but they suck, really. So they are not valuing the customer that much that it should be. So they call themselves agile, but actually I think they are not really agile. And I actually know some waterfall teams that are doing waterfall development, and they are doing great. They are good. So I actually came up with that title, and this is called How to Make Good Teams Great. Who's working in a good team? Yeah, so you will become great after this talk. So, but first, I have a warning for you. We are from Atlassian, and we make things differently. We are very open for feedback, very open culture. For example, we blogged about our 20% time project before we started the 20% time project. And we were blogging the results openly. And also if we have discussion inside Atlassian, we're doing that not in public, but in our extranet. We're discussing things. We say, okay, this sucks at Atlassian. We have to do something. So what I want to say with that is we're doing things differently, or we're doing things the Atlassian way. And these 7 things I will show you work pretty good for Atlassian. So it may not work like they are for your company where you work in, for your team. So maybe you have to twist things, make them a little bit differently, take the core out of it, and try things out to become great. Okay, so I was thinking, when was I the last time thinking I'm doing a great job? I'm really doing a great job. So actually, when was I in programmer's heaven? Really? So I thought, okay, it was actually every time I work on a kick-ass product. A product that when I develop it and the customer, I think about the customer, and then when he uses this, he's getting so awesome when he's using it. He's getting so productive. He's actually crying when he's using it. And then when I have this customer in my head, then I'm doing a really good job. I'm doing great. But that's not all. It's also when I work for a kick-ass team. When a team that says, hey, we kick ass, we have the same goal, we want to make the customer awesome, we want to create a great product, a team that I can learn from. Well, then actually, if these two things come together, I think I'm in programmer's heaven. So actually, what are companies doing for getting us in this programmer's heaven, for that we become great? What are they doing? Well, they give us money. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have studied for a long time, and we're doing great. We want to get something back from our effort we're doing in our job. So money is okay, yeah, but they pay us bonuses or commissions or as programmers. So this is something like if you get the software done in 3 months, you will get a bonus payment. Yeah, great. But does that really motivate me? Well, actually, that just motivates me to get the bonus payment, but not to do a great job, to become great, to make the customer become, the product become great, to make the customer great. That doesn't motivate me. So what else are companies doing? Well, they hire a lot of people. I mean, they put so much effort in hiring good people. An ad at Monsters or Stepstone, we use that in Germany for getting people. It costs so much money, and an ad in a newspaper, the company I worked for before, they put ads in newspapers, and it costs so much money. And then they get, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 people, and yeah, then they do job interviews, they're spending so much time trying to get the best talent they can get, and then they have the best talent, the best person that fits into their team, and then they put them behind prison bars. They put them behind prison bars, they limit their possibilities. They say, okay, we have to work from 9 to 4, you have to be here from 9 to 4 to work. But maybe the guy, he's good at working in the evening, hacking code at 8 o'clock in the evening. So why limit his possibilities? And if I've worked in a company where they say, okay, we're using Eclipse for development, and then we had a new guy who wanted to use IntelliJ, and he wasn't allowed to use IntelliJ because everybody was using Eclipse. But maybe he's so productive with IntelliJ. Why didn't we buy him a license? It was also hard to get a license. I think in some companies it's easier to get a new developer than buying a new IntelliJ license. Okay, so what can we do? We are just poor developers, aren't we? So what can we do as poor developers? We can go to our bosses and managers and say, hey, revolution! From now on, we're doing everything differently. We're doing everything differently. We work when we want, we work from home, whatever. Well, we all know what happened in the French Revolution. These times are over. So nobody's losing his head anymore. But maybe we can lose our jobs if we're doing that. So what else can we do? We can actually sit there like the two Muppets and just complaining about things, and it will never change, and sit there and just complaining about things. That we also can do, but that doesn't change anything. Just rapping on the management, that really doesn't help anything. So at Atlassian we have a values. It's one of 5 values, and this is my favorite value we have, and it's called "Be the change you seek." You should be yourself. You should be this change. You should change in a small way, and then let it grow. Let it grow outside your team and the whole company. So this is one value. And okay, I've been talking too much now, and you're here for the 7 things. So here are the 7 things how to make good teams great. So let's actually get started. So thing number 1, it's flow time. Yeah, flow. Who has been in the flow? Okay, so Not everybody, so let me explain. The flow is actually special when you're programming, and you're totally concentrated on what you're doing. You actually see the design. You have the design of the software in your head. You see abstract classes coming from the left, and okay, I have to put this method outside in this abstract class and putting an interface in between. And you're so productive in this flow. You're really, really productive. So actually, you want to be, as a programmer, in the flow as long and as often as possible. And the flow is actually about productivity. We are so productive. And then the rumor says, if we got an interruption, somebody taps on our shoulders, we're checking emails, we're checking our Facebook account, or we're looking at Twitter, whatever, it takes approximately 10 minutes to come back to that stage we've been before, and to the production phase. So we want to avoid interruptions. So let's have a look at office designs first. Here on the left-hand side, it's an office. Let's assume behind the doors there are sitting 2 to 3 developers developing, and it's a perfect flow environment. You can close the door and hack your stuff. Nobody will disturb you, or it's harder to come in because the door's a natural border. So if you close the door, people don't want to come in. So this is perfect flow environment. On the right-hand side, this is the new office in San Francisco from Atlassian. It's an open space office. Everything is just in one building. So it's just one room, one big room we have, and we're working together there. So why did we design it that way? Isn't that stupid? We want to be productive. And now I have to say something for the nerds of you and for the geeks. And it's true, but you have to learn the truth. Development is not just about hacking code. Really. It's a collaborative thing. So we have to work together with people. We have to work together with designers or with QA people. We have to do standards. We have to talk about our architecture. All this stuff. We have to do pair programming. All the stuff we're doing. It's a collaborative thing, and this is perfect for collaboration. But it's awful for getting into the flow. So actually, how do we balance this? On the one hand, we want to collaborate. On the other hand, we want to get into the flow. Well, what I did with my team, I had a 9-people team, and we had one big room sitting together with 9 people. I introduced a do not disturb time. So we had one time at a day from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. where we weren't disturbed. We closed the doors and nobody was allowed to disturb us. We put all our meetings and phone calls and answering emails into the morning. So we did every collaborative thing in the morning. And then we had this flow time in the afternoon, where we closed the door, put up a sign, we closed our email clients, we closed our chat clients, we turned off the telephones, and then we could get into the flow. We could really hack some code and be concentrated on what we're doing. So how did it went? Well, the first week it went awful. Everybody came in and disturbed us and said, "Oh yeah, hey, what's going on?" And we said, "Oh no, we have flow time. Please do not disturb us. Close the door and come back at 4 o'clock." And after 1 week, it was quiet. It was totally quiet, and I was wondering what's going on here. And I went to the other team on the other side of the floor, opened the door, and wanted to knock at the door actually. And then there was a sign: "Please do not disturb us. We have flow time." So this is excellent. It spread it all over the department. It was great. So if this doesn't work, this sign, restricted area, keep out, you could pretend a disease that people don't come in, or say, "Hey, we have dangerous animals in our office. Please don't come in." Well, you saw the picture of our Atlassian office in San Francisco, and it's open space, and we cannot close doors there. So what we do there is we have a do not disturb the rest. So this is a concept where one guy of the team, he's the poor support guy for the day. So he has to do support. He has to answer all the questions. When people have questions, yes, they have to come to this guy to get the questions answered. That means, of course, we need a collective code ownership. So everybody has to know things about the code, where the code is, and what to do about it. So everybody needs to know how to debug the test server, how to access the production database and get data out of it. Of course, we also have a SQL master who do magic with SQL. I'm not that guy. He can do joins and everything. And if we need him, well, we open just a ticket in Jira, our ticketing system, and we open just a ticket, assign it to him, and he can work on it whenever he has time. So this is how we do it at Atlassian. And we indicate the guy, the poor guy who is in charge of the support, we indicate him by putting him a funny hat on, or a funny T-shirt, or we're putting something on his desk so people know who is the support guy and don't disturb the others. Yeah. So, but don't get me wrong. The support guy, he's changing from day to day. So he's not the support guy of the whole team. He's changing from day to day. Okay. At the end of each thing, I'm doing something I call a reality check. So actually, give away feasibility points. How easy is it to implement this in a corporate environment? And I will give it a 4 out of 5. I did it in a very conservative environment, and it went good. Actually, the management came to me afterwards and say, "Oh, we also want to have a do not disturb time, but somehow I cannot do that." And I don't know why, but anyway. So in awesomeness points, I give it a 2 out of 5. Okay, this is indicating how great your team will be afterwards. Let's come to thing number 2, feed your brain. We are living in an interesting industry, IT industry, and it's changing so fast, and we have to constantly learn. I mean, there's a new JVM language each week. And we have to know if we can use that, or if we want to do front-end development, we have to know if we should use CoffeeScript or TypeScript or Dart or hacking JavaScript. We have to make decisions on that, and so we have to know the technology, or just know a little bit of the technology. So how do we constantly learn? You make it right. I mean, you came to DevOps, and you learned so much thing here. So much things here. It's so great, and you can just get the peak of it, and then go deeper down if you're going home, learn more about it. So you're doing it right. But actually, it's also, hey, oh, we're back. Cool. Yeah. So it's. We're learning. Okay, we're constantly learning stuff. So you did it right, and but actually went to a conference 2 weeks ago. Oh no, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, in Denmark, and I talked to a guy who was at the conference. He saw my talk, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's great, but actually." At our company, we have 100 developers, and everybody could go to this awesome conference, but we're just 7 here. So not everybody is coming. Everybody's coming to a conference, and for some companies, it's also a matter of money to send people to conferences. So what you can do is you can organize coding sessions. At the evening, what I did is I went actually to DevOps in year 2009, and I saw Bill Wenners talking about Scala. And I thought, oh, awesome! We have to do Scala too, even though we cannot use it in our production environment. We have to do that too. So I came back to my team, and we met each Tuesday at 5 p.m. to hack some code, some Scala code. So every time we met, we tried a new language feature, and after half a year, we were pretty good in hacking Scala, and then we said, okay, good, we need to try something else now to learn it. We still couldn't use it in production, so we did JavaFX. We did some JavaFX code in the good old days, JavaFX 1.1 or something. So that's where we dragged in people from our team to also learn with us. But actually, not everybody of our team joined. Some wanted to go home to spend time with the family, and some had some football training or whatever at Tuesday evening. So what you can do then is to organize brown bags. And brown bags are talks during the lunch. So you take your lunch in a brown bag to the talk. So when anybody of the team is just presenting something during the lunchtime. And this is great because it doesn't really take some spare time like the coding sessions, and it doesn't take work time. So this is perfect. I've been to a brown bag in the headquarters of Atlassian in Sydney, Australia. This was it was great. And actually, I found very, very cool that this guy, he was coming in with a brown bag in his hand. That was just cool. But even though, I mean, I told you, I've been working with a team with 9 people. We were the only software developers in the company. And even though we tried to do brown bags, we couldn't come up with a topic each week. Or it takes time to prepare also a talk, and we didn't have the time during the week. And some people didn't want to use their spare time. Was fair enough. So what we did then is we met on a Friday afternoon, took some beer, and watched some videos on Parlays. We just took Parlays and said, okay, we want to see that talk. There's so much good stuff out of it. And if you combine that with a brown bag, well, that's perfect. I mean, really, that's really great. So it doesn't use spare time, work time, and doesn't need any preparation. So, okay, let's do the reality check. As I said, it's perfect, no excuse, 5 out of 5. Awesomeness point, yeah, we should constantly learn, read books and all this stuff, so I give it a 2 out of 5. Okay, let's have a look at thing number 3, say well done. We should say well done more often. I mean, I've been to presentations or to parties where the company is doing a party because we have, I don't know, 1,000 customers, or we just reached 1 million in revenue. Great, so we're doing a party. And the CEO rocked the stage and said, oh, you did a great job, and we reached our goals, and everything is cool. And I was staying there among 50 or 100 other people and saying, okay, I just did this much to reach that goal. So I didn't really feel connected to that. We should also appreciate actually the small things. If a colleague is doing a great job making the feature ready for the release, maybe spend 2 hours more working hard on that feature that it makes it into this release, we should appreciate this. Why? Because appreciation is so important for our happiness. I mean, it's actually a great motivator to come to work. We want to get appreciation for the work we've done. And we should make it public. It's great if Thomas has done this awesome feature, and I go to Thomas and said, hey, good job, Thomas, but don't tell the others. No, we should just scream it out. Well, Thomas has done a great job. Look at that. He rocked the feature into the release. Great. And it should be for everybody, not just the boss who's coming and said, hey, you did a good job, you did a good job, and you did a good job. No, should be allowed for everybody to do that. And it should be easy, not complicated, not very complicated thing. Should just be easy to do that. And it should be without approval. I don't want to have approval from my boss. Oh. Great. Okay, just it should be without approval. I don't want to go to my boss and just say, hey, can we just appreciate Thomas because he did a good job? And my boss said, yeah, Thomas, yeah. Well, he did a good job now, but actually, normally Thomas sucks, so I don't want to appreciate him. What we do at Atlassian is we're giving away kudos. And at our extranet, that's our intranet or whatever you call this, our wiki, is saying, feel free to recognize some or something awesome they have done, no approval required. To recognize a colleague, please click here. So if you click on that link, you end up in our issue tracker in Jira, and you can say, okay, Thomas should get kudos. Thomas did a good job rocking the feature into the release. And by the way, Thomas likes to go to the movies. And 2 days later, Thomas has a card on his desk saying, hey, kudos from Sven, great job, and you rock the feature, cool. In our extranet, there's an ad where say, okay, kudos from Sven to Thomas, and he gets 2 movie tickets. At Atlassian, we are allowed to do that 2 times a year, but actually, if somebody is doing such an awesome job, we can also appreciate much more often. I think nobody's counting that, but that's just a rule. Okay, let's see. Let's do the reality check. Feasibility points. I give it a 2 out of 5 because it's awesome from Atlassian to do that. It's our HR department who organize everything. I just push the submit button and everything happens magically, so it's very easy. And I think it's hard to bring your HR department to do the same. Try it. But you can also do it something small. I said you can twist this thing. So do something small. Just think about putting pictures on the whiteboard saying kudos. And awesomeness points, yeah, appreciation is so important for our happiness. I give it a 3 out of 5. Thing number 4, report robot. You know, I spent so much time in project reports, doing project reports, and I actually had to collect all the data from our SAP system, from our time tracking system, from our sprint planning system, and all this has to go into my project report. And I actually did that every 14 days or every month, and it took me half a day to put together this report. And actually, then I gave it to my boss, and he read it. But the boss of my boss, I don't know if he read it. And actually, I recently asked my team if they ever read this report, and I sent a link to them every time. And they said, nah, we didn't read it. But actually, it's so important for them. I mean, they learn so much stuff out of it. They see how they perform, if they perform good or perform bad. So they should know this stuff. At Atlassian, we are wild about collecting all kinds of data. We're collecting everything we can get. We're collecting the time we need for a feature, for an issue. We're collecting how many features we completed, how many story points this feature had. We collect how many code reviews we did, how many new lines of code got introduced, and how many new lines that did get reviewed. We collect how many builds succeeded, how many builds failed, and more important, how was the build time? So if the build time goes up, we have to do something. We're collecting test server performance. We're deploying automatically on our test servers, so we're measuring the performance. We are measuring the velocity for Scrum teams, the cycle time, and the lead time for Kanban teams. But we're not stopping at the development. Also, our marketing is measuring, of course, our sales, how many evaluation versions got downloaded and installed from potential customers, how was the web traffic on our website, how many ads have been clicked. But we're not stopping at the marketing. Also, our support is measuring how many support cases came in. How is the customer satisfaction? We're measuring that too. And actually, how was the response time? And we're not stopping at the support. Also, our human resource department is measuring how many applicants did we get? And how many phone interviews did we do? How many in-person interviews did we do? Yada yada yada. And all this data we collect in one database, and we call this the green zone database. And we can get now the data out of that and making awesome project reports. Like this. I mean, everybody that can write an SQL statement can make a live project report. And the advantage here, this is live data. I can see the sales from today compared with yesterday. I can see live data. I don't have to go in and do the report all the time. I just have 1 week left of 1 week back or 1 month back. And everybody at Atlassian that can write an SQL statement can make such a report in our extranet. And when I say everybody at Atlassian that can write an SQL statement, I'm talking about 70% or something, and the rest 30%, they have to go to someone who can do that, and he's maybe sitting just the desk next to him. So, but still there. Now it's sitting in our extranet. It's sitting there, and I told you my team they didn't look at this report. And it's still hidden somewhere in the extranet. So we have to get this out. And this is what we call information radiators. This term is coined by Alistair Coburn. And we have at Atlassian, we have each team has 2 televisions showing actual data, how the sprint goes, what's happening, and I will show you some. So this is an information radiator with a burn down shot, classic. What's the builds? How the build performance? How's the sprint performance? How many days left? This is a information radiator from our extranet team that is caring about our extranet, and you can see the performance of the extranet on that. And here we have an information radiator from our support in Amsterdam. Red, the support cases that currently escalating, and down there the second monitor is showing some tweets. We are also answering support cases via Twitter. So the team can walk by, see, they don't get disturbed because everybody can see what the team is working on. So this is live reporting on a warboard. Let's do a reality check. So we have one guy who cares about all the systems, to collect all the data, make the interfaces, cares about our database, and helps with SQL statements. So I think it's feasibility points, I will give it a 2 out of 5. Awesomeness points, it's so cool. You get short feedback loops. It's really great, so I will give it a 4 out of 5. Let's have a look at thing number 5. Eat your own dog food. Let's step away from software development for a sec and pretend we're dog food producers. So we produce dog food. We have this awesome new dog food. Now, we want to give it to the market. So how do we test that? Well, we can give it to 20 dogs and see how they react, how the tail is going, or compared with the competitor dog food, and see how the dog is reacting. But isn't it even better to have the taste like a dog, to think like a dog, to become a dog, and taste your own dog food? Just try it and say, it needs more salt in it. Well, so if you go down that path, please be prepared that you may also look like your dog later. But okay, what does that have to do with software development? I mean, dog fooding is alpha testing. It's alpha testing our software. We're testing our software on our own servers before we give it to the customers. We're pushing it, and everybody is actually trying our software. I mean, not only the developers and the QA, everybody, the CTO, the secretary. So everybody is using the software and dog food the software and giving feedback. Does anybody know what this pub has to do with dog fooding? No? This is actually the pub where they found the iPhone 4 2 years ago, before it got released by Apple. So we pretty much know that Apple is also dog fooding its own iPhones before they release it to the market. They're trying it out themselves. But I actually don't know what happens to the maps. Maybe they work in Palo Alto or in San Francisco, but actually not where I live. Anyway, they should be better in dog fooding. Come back to dog fooding with the maps. Okay, but this is not all. I mean, dog fooding is understanding the customer. You become the customer yourself. Actually, we know all the pain points of our software, and we know, this area I don't want to touch, or the administration area sucks. But if we have to work with it, well, we understand more our customers. And if our customers are staying in front of us and saying, can you please make this three steps we have into one step? And we are saying, no, we're doing performance issues on our database side, and say, I don't care about performance. It performs great. We just need these 3 steps in one step, and the customer's looking like that, yelling at you. Well, it's time to dog food, I guess. But this can be painful. I mean, it's really painful to know the flaws of your software, for one thing, but it's also painful because the people sitting next to you, they are trying your new feature. They are trying out your new feature and giving you feedback. That can be painful. It's not that virtual customer anymore that's sitting in the next building or in another town. It's actually your teammates or your boss who's trying out the software. But actually, eating your own dog food is short feedback cycles. We test the software before it's out at the customer. So if our secretary finds a usability issue in the software, it doesn't take a release cycle to fix that usability issue. Well, we can fix it right away. So eating your own dog food is about fast feedback. Okay, let's do the reality check. Well, we're working for Atlassian. We're doing software development tools to develop software, our software development tools. So for us, it's pretty easy to eat our own dog food, to try Jira, to plan our sprints and all the stuff. I mean, that's pretty easy for us. But maybe you're doing support software or whatever, and just go to the guys who use the software, sit next to them and try it out, maybe just half a day a week or something, and try the software yourself. But anyway, I will give it a 2 out of 5. Awesomeness points, yeah, great. Short feedback cycles, we understand the customer better. Well, that's just awesome, so I give it a 5 out of 5. Okay, thing number 6, do a special day. Yeah. You know, we have so much stuff in our backlog that we keep pushing down because we avoid doing that. I call that the unpleasant things. And it's a little bit like in real life. You have also some unpleasant things you don't want to touch. You know you have to do that, but no, it's easier not to do that. Like my wife, she tells me, I have to clean up my hobby room. Yeah, I know, I have to do that next weekend, I have time. Yeah, maybe. Or I have to do an appointment at the dentist. Yeah. I need to do that, but I avoid that. Or I have to meet my parents-in-law or something like that. So just okay. No, it's not that bad actually. If you're watching. So. Yeah, we have this thing. So what is doing a special day? We should tackle these things, these unpleasant things that are in our backlog. We should forget about the sprint for the current sprint for a day and just attack these things. Just concentrate for one day to get this thing out of the door. So I just have a question. Who's the developer here? And keep your hands up, and who likes to do documentation? Oh, yeah. Okay, here in the front there were 2. Awesome. But actually, that's the same we have at Atlassian. Well, we don't like documentation as a developer. So what we do is we're doing a dog sprint, what we call a dog sprint. So our technical writers, they invite us to come and join us for a day of documentation. So we're doing documentation for just one day, and they are arranging everything around us. So we sit together, writing documentation, they're giving away the task, what we should document, and we document our software. So they are just assisting us to do the documentation. And there's lunch prepared, and they give us chocolate in between, and that we feel comfortable all the time. So this is great. And at the end of the doc sprint, well, what we get is we have documentation written, and they take it with us, the technical writers take it with it, and make what they're good at. I mean, making it pretty and doing the wording stuff and all these things. So, and they don't bother us anymore with documentation. I mean, it's not they're coming back and say, is that right what I wrote there? No, you wrote it yourself, so it must be right. So this is a dog sprint. What we do is we call blitz test, Atlassian blitz test. So we are looking, and that's even shorter, not just a day, it's just 3 hours where we're looking for fearless testers under the developers. So our QA department, they search for developers that are willing to test. And then they have some new features in the software, and we test the hell out of it in 3 hours. We test everything around it. And then our QA takes it and takes it with us and removes all duplicates or whatever, and make the wording pretty again, and give us the feedback back. So this is what we call blitz test. And in 3 hours we have found so many errors. Yeah, but this can go on and on. Why not cleaning up the code base for just one day? Yeah, let it prepare, let people prepare it, and then we have a discussion in the morning and say, okay, we have to clean up that. Well, how do we do that? How do we do the cleanup and all this stuff? So this list can go on and on. I don't know what's in your backlog, so just have a look what you can do in one day. But doing a special day is for getting stuff out of the door. We want to get stuff out of the door. So sometimes things look very, very big from a distance, but if we tackle them in a special day, well, they are not that big anymore. And we get them out of the door, they are out of the backlog. Okay, let's do a reality check. Well, doing 1 day for getting stuff out of the backlog, I would give it a 5 out of 5. Why not do it? Awesomeness points, yeah, we have to do that. We have to actually to put that in our current sprint planning, but yeah, we are not good at that, so we keep pushing it back. So I would give it a 3 out of 5. We know we have to do that. Okay, my last thing is experimentation time, thing number 7. We're doing at Atlassian, we're doing something we call Ship-It Days. So we come together for a 24-hour hackathon, and we try our own stuff. We try our own ideas. We put our innovation in our products. This is what we do at Atlassian. We call Ship-It Days, and this is about innovation, our own ideas into the product. But it's not about innovation. It's also about motivation, because you get your stuff into the product. I mean, you see your ideas coming true in 24 hours. So this is Atlassian Ship-It Day. So how does a Ship-It Day work? Well, we sit together. So I think 2-3 weeks before Ship-It Day, we come together and we collecting our ideas in brown bags. So we're collecting our ideas and doing brown bags, and then we write our ideas on a whiteboard, and then there are teams forming around ideas. And then sometimes we need a designer to make it pretty, so we grab a designer. And then approximately 2 days before Ship-It Day, we come together again and do the plan. And we're doing something mini sprint planning. So we're planning the task. The designer has done the design, so we know what to do for getting our innovative idea into the product. So we're doing sprint planning meeting. And then at a Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m., we're meeting together to do the Ship-It Day. And it's actually a little bit like 24. 24 with Jack Bauer. It's amazing what he experienced in 24 hours. Nobody can experience in his whole life. Really, it's amazing what he does in 24 hours. And it's actually the same with Ship-It Day. It's amazing what you can do in 24 hours. It's really amazing. You cannot do that in a whole sprint. You're really connected to the goal you want to do. So this is really cool. And Jack says, this is the longest day of my life. At Atlassian, we say, hey, this is the coolest day of this quarter. We're doing a Ship-It Day every quarter, so 4 times a year. So Thursday, 3 p.m., let's go. We come together and then we code. We just hack. We fork our products and then just hack the hell out of it. We come together maybe at 6 p.m. and eat some pizza and have some energy drinks, and then we go on coding. And most people go home after at 11 or 12. They go home and come back in the morning at 7 or 6 again and go on coding. And at the end of a Ship-It Day, we come together again. And this is quite important because we have a shipment order. So we have an order. We need to show something at the end of a Ship-It Day. Sometimes, of course, the idea doesn't go anywhere and we cannot show something, but most of the time this is a goal to show something. And we come together and show our ideas. We're doing lightning talks, and Atlassian has grown so big that we're doing now semi-finals and a final, because at the end we are voting for the winner. We have written an app actually where we can vote for winners, and this app is done in a Ship-It Day, has been done in Ship-It Day, and then we vote for a winner in the finals. The idea with the biggest wow. So and he gets a trophy, and he can put the trophy on his desk and be the coolest guy in the company for 3 months. So what do you get out of a Atlassian Ship-It Day or out of a Ship-It Day? You get some innovations. You get innovative ideas. Show them in the product. This is cool because our management sees that and says, or our product manager sees that and said, hey, great stuff. We put that in our roadmap. Cool stuff. We want to have that in our roadmap. But you also get some happy nerds. It's so much fun to just fork the code, don't care about coding conventions, whatever. Just hack the hell out of it, put it in the core of the product. Don't care about clean code. Just hack it, and that's so much fun to get this back. But what else do we get out of a ship a day? Well, we get, of course, crappy code, not maintainable code, unstable features, and not final for the product. But actually, what we want is good code, maintainable code, stable features, and it should be polished for the product. That's what we want. We want to have our idea into the product. And what can we do if we don't get it into our roadmap, but we think it's an awesome idea, it has to end up in the product? At Atlassian, we can use 20% time for that. And this is something we do. We have 20% of our working time to hack on our own ideas, to do our own ideas, to let them come true. And 20% time is of course innovation time. It's my innovative idea that I want to put into the product, and it's independent time. I can take it whenever I want, and it's my time. It's for me. It's my time. We just have one rule: it has to do something with our product. So we cannot use the 20% time for learning a new programming language. We have another program for that. The 20% time is really to make the product, to get my idea into the product. But there's a problem. I told you, we're measuring everything, and also our 20% time. And we found out that the 20% time, it's not really a 20% time. It's more a 5% time, 6% time, maybe. So why is it like that? It's so awesome idea, isn't it? It's so great. Why is it that people are not using that 20% time? Well, there's actually a conflict, like this cat who doesn't know, should I catch the mouse or the bird, or the mouse or the bird? Also, our programmers are in conflict if they're working on sprint goals. They're working on the current sprint goals, and they don't want to let their teammates down because they are also working towards the sprint goals. And if they take that 20% time, they have the feeling they let them down, even though it's okay to do that. Then sometimes we're working for release, so we have heavy workload. And then we don't take our 20% time because we want to get the release out of the door. And sometimes we have dependencies. We're working with 2 people on a 20% time project, so we get problems in coordinating that. So what we came up with is with Innovation Week. We're doing now Innovation Weeks. And this is 20% time in a time box. For example, a team, the Stash team, this is our Git repository management for enterprise teams. The Stash team, they're doing 7 weeks release cycles. So every 7 weeks they're doing a release, download software. And after the release, they take one week off. I know it's not 20% time, but they take 1 week off to use that 20% time. And this is so cool because in that time, the whole team is doing using that 20% time. So it's also innovative time, but this time it's planned time. We have this 1 week time slot, time box for doing our 20% time ideas into the product, and it's team time. You can have a bigger impact if you're using more people, and yeah, that's Innovation Week. So let's do the reality check at the end. Well, feasibility points. For Ship It days, I will give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, just once a quarter, 1 day for innovative ideas that you can get better products. Wow, that's cool. Or maybe just do it half a year, whatever. For 20% time and Innovation Weeks, well, that's hard to get through. I mean, it's just 20% of the working time spending on your own innovative idea. I will give it 2 out of 5. Awesomeness points, yeah, well, it's so awesome. I mean, your product gets better, your programmers get happier. Hey, that's so cool. Awesomeness points, 5 out of 5. Okay, so where do you go from here? Oh, sorry. The 7 things, of course. Summary. It's flow time. We're We have to be more on the flow, more productive. So do something to achieve that, like do not disturb time. Feed your brain. We should constantly learn. Say well done. Also appreciate the small things. Report robot. Think about automatic reports. Eat your own dog food. Try the software yourself to come closer to your customers. Do a special day. Get rid of some things deep down in your backlog and get them done in one special day. And experimentation time. Get your innovative ideas into the product. So, but where do we get from here? Well, you should just try a thing. Take one thing you think it's the best thing for your team. Try it out, but be prepared. You will fail also. I mean, we failed too at Atlassian. We learned it the hard way. So we thought 20% time, innovative ideas. Great, that's so great. We take our best programmers that are the most innovative programmers and take them out and use them in an experimentation team. So we had this innovative team that's driving our innovation. And actually what happened was, we thought it's awesome, it's great, it's a great idea, yeah. But what happened was that this team, for one thing, they got a little bit disconnected from the product, but more important was that the other people at Atlassian thought, oh, innovation is happening now in this team, and I don't drive the innovation anymore, so it's happening in this team. So we got rid of that, we stopped that. So be prepared to fail, but what I want to say is, don't be stupid. This guy has an ejection seat, so don't be stupid, time box it, measure whatever, measure the thing, measure what happens. And this is my next advice. Measure. If you try something, measure the income of it. If you're doing dog fooding, measure how many bugs you found doing dog fooding. Let everything like it is before, your QA, whatever, and measure how many more bugs you found with dog fooding. And then make it yours. These things were Atlassian things, but you can just take the core out of it and make it yours, adapt this thing, that it fits into your team. And be different. I mean, if you're doing things like ship it days and tell people that applies for a job at your place, well, it's so great if you say, okay, we're doing 24-hour hackathon. You can work for 24 hours on your own innovative idea. People like that. People want that, and you keep your good team together. They don't leave the company. So be different. Try some things and try to be different, because software developers are the most wanted job in 2012. So be different. And lame, but we're hiring a lot. So if you wanna, we're doing all the 7 things. So if you wanna move to sunny Sydney, Australia, just apply for a job. Look at our webpage. And well, that's it. Thank you very much, and enjoy DevOps. Thank you. So if you got questions, we can. I think I have 3 minutes left for questions. So, or you want to go have some lunch? I'm here the whole DevOps. We have a booth there, the Atlassian booth. So just come and catch me. Thank you.